I now call the Kiwanis Connects show to order. I'm Aaron Phillips coming to you live from Virginia Beach, Virginia. And you all are out there, wherever it is you are, that's where you're at, right? That's what the map says. When you find the little star, you are here. Of course, that's where I am. Anyway, as always, joining me from the West Coast today is none other than Doc Val herself. Back in her usual seat, co-hosting the show. Last week, we had her in the hot spot, but boy, she did exceedingly well. It was a great show. And then, of course, returning to join us for, I don't know, third, fourth, or fifth time. I have no idea, but obviously he needs a life because he has nothing else to do but join us as a guest on Kiwanis Connects, our good friend, Mr. John Brummer. Hello, Doc Val and John. How are you all doing out yonder?
We're doing good.
Excellent.
Aloha. This has been one of the most amazing 2-week run ever. So I hear that you're looking at 106 degrees, or at least feels like 106 degrees out where you are. Is that true?
Yes, that is with the heat index. We were in the pool yesterday afternoon after our celebration of life for my mother-in-law. We celebrated her yesterday. We saw family in town. We actually got into the pool. Today, it's going to even be a little bit hotter before the storms come through for the next couple of days, and we'll drop temperatures back down to about, I think I saw like upper 70s, low 80s for a couple of days. But yes, that is the case. The Mother Nature is one that is testing us. By the way, before I forget, I do have to ask for 30 seconds of selfishness here. Today is the 20th birthday of my triplet nieces, Adina, Perry, and Shoshana. Happy birthday to my niece, Guppy, my Guppy nieces. That's an inside little family tale there. 20 years young, my nieces turned today. So happy birthday to my girls out there. And it is toasty out here. How's the weather on the West Coast at 9 o'clock in the morning for you all out there? What you guys got brewing?
John, what's it like? Have you been outside yet?
I have. I'm in Lodi. I live on a farm, but it's going to be probably in the upper 90s. Yeah, upper 90s.
Okay.
Upper 90s. I would kill for that.
Most people think I live on the coast, and I spend a lot of time on the coast, but in Monterey, where I am, it's going to be 101 today. So right now it's absolutely beautiful outside, and over the break I'll show you my backyard where I'm going to be spending a lot of time. I couldn't upload fast enough so you could brag a little bit. But Aaron, I'm so excited. You know, John's one of my favorite people. We were lieutenant governors together. We've traveled around together. I was actually a lieutenant governor under his wife, Ray Whitby Brummer, who was my first governor. And so to have John back and to see how much recovery, John, you've made since the very first show. Oh, my goodness. Welcome back.
Thank you, Val. Or Doc Val, sorry.
Hey, I go by Val. I go by most names as long as they're PG and don't get bleeped out. So we're good.
There you go. I want to thank everybody for their weather reports as we're watching this, but I do want to remind everybody that today's show is being brought to you by Back Nine of Great Bridge here in the Chesapeake area of Virginia Beach. They are Kiwanians of the Chesapeake Kiwanis Club. They are proud sponsors of the show. But, you know, I'm glad you said what you just did about John Brummer, Val, because we've watched his progression along with Derek and Rocky, who normally are in tow with John when we talk about stroke awareness and the great job that they've done in bringing stroke awareness and the BFAST rules. And we'll get into all that as the show progresses. But, I mean, just even his willingness to speak and be a guest. The very first time he was a little concerned about the speech. John, you've thrown all caution to the wind, man. You're out here on your own flying solo about this today with us.
Yeah, Aaron, I can't shut up now.
And that's not even an inside joke, because I think one of the things you shared in the very beginning was that you had to relearn how to speak.
Right. I did. I created an exercise. I still do it. If you can see my hands, probably not. Mm-hmm. This is what I do. This tells me to slow down when I talk. If I slow down, you can understand me better. So I'm selling this method to doctors, nurses, whoever wants to buy the method, and I'll get the money and donate it to Kiwanis.
Okay, you've got to copyright this or trademark this. What's the trademark?
Say that again.
I said, is it trademark? You need to trademark your
Trademark it.
method. I think you need to.
So we should come up with a logo with two hands, right? With John's face on it, a little cartoon-like. Call it whatever you want, and then we just trademark the whole thing, which is similar to The Voice and what I've done. It'll be trademarking. Now, if he comes with instructions on how to do this, then we want to copyright it.
All right. I have the perfect marketing idea for John's idea.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Did anyone ever watch the TV show Taxi?
Yes.
Yes.
Does anyone remember the scene where he's in the
DMV.
in the DMV?
Yes.
And he says, "What does the yellow light mean?" And everybody says, "Slow down." And he goes, "Okay, what does a yellow light mean?"
I remember that.
But you know what,
John, I'm going to talk to you. If not after the show, maybe a little later, I'll send you an email. I have a guy with the Cleveland Blaine Institute here in Vegas that you will need to talk to about that. And I'm serious. So go have fun.
Okay.
I think that is absolutely awesome. And so I think we should talk about copyrights and trademarks and all that fun stuff. But I also want to talk about the fact that when you talked about slow down and yellow, oh my goodness, right there in Reno, they were doing bicycle training with the club, the Reno club that does the bicycles, and all the kids, when they see yellow, it means speed up.
I was just going to say that. In Jersey, that's how we learn to drive. Yellow means to speed up.
Speed up so that you can beat the red light. So we got to make sure that it crosses generations, whatever image that you have. John, I'm so excited because you have multiple great ideas that you're going to share with us today. And I wanted people to think they want us to be all the way through this process. So we've got that copyright now. That's homework already. So you probably need to take some notes on that. And if you want to talk to somebody who's done a lot of this, that's a pretty phenomenal Kiwanian. In addition to Aaron and John, you also want to talk to Doug Chadwick out in Burbank with the Literacy Club Foundation. He has trademarked a number of amazing ideas. Kiwanians need to do that because we have so much collateral and so many great ideas that when we trademark them, it means that they go international. Another expert is one of your favorite people, and one of mine is Anna Wu. She works on patents, trademarks, and copyright as well. There are a lot of resources in the Kiwanis world, and I know I go way far afield. So, Aaron, I know like I'm just like hundreds of miles away from where we need to be.
You're good.
But this is one of my pet peeves. And that is we have over 200,000 amazing Kiwanians doing wonderful things in all of their different diverse fields, and we don't tap into them enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's absolute flattery when someone calls me and says, how do I do a motivational speech? How do I rearrange my organization? How do I get some coaching? And I go, I know how to do that in my sleep. I can help you. And I'm not going to charge them. And I think that's what most Kiwanians will do for other Kiwanians. So, okay, I'm off my soapbox.
No, you're good. I want to kick off the conversation by sharing a statistic that I asked ChatGPT to pull up for me earlier this morning regarding strokes, John. And you probably know this and could probably update it. But in 2023, strokes caused 162,639 U.S. deaths. Mm-hmm. Women accounted for nearly 92,000 of them. That's over almost 57% of that number, while men accounted for the balance at nearly 71,000 deaths at about 44%. When adjusted for age, though, the stroke death rate was slightly higher in men, 39.3 per 100,000 men versus 38.1 per 100,000 for women, and that comes courtesy of heart.org. John, could we say that strokes are almost an epidemic level here in the United States for men and women?
I'm not sure, but I know more men who have strokes. Take Kiwanis, for example. I know 5 people who have strokes in Kiwanis, locally in Calneva. So when I go to the stroke support groups, and I'll talk about that later, there are many men that are there. And it doesn't matter age-wise. It can happen to anybody.
I think the reason why we don't see many women who have strokes and Kiwanis is because of how women deal with any kind of major health or catastrophic illness. And it's that by the time they go through it, they're ignoring it because they already suppress pain. They suppress those different things. So they don't even know that they've had a mild transischemic or that they've had a major stroke because it's just all in the process. And so a lot of our women that disappear from Kiwanis, it's because it's catastrophic. It's unrecoverable. Does that make sense? And I can go through a list of women that just kind of disappeared off the side of the earth. And when I reached out, it's like, oh, she is in a rehabilitation center or long-term care. And so she's just not back in Kiwanis, and they don't share why. But I think that you being here helps us make it normal to share why and how we can support one another and how we can support you and other people so that they can regain some of that joy and be active.
I think one thing on stroke is important. Be patient. It's going to take some time for people. For me, maybe I can't think of words to say, but I know them. They don't come out. That's called, I think, aphasia.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people has that, and that's like a substroke. But there's different kinds of strokes. Ischemic, that's when you have a blockage in the clot. That's what I had. And there's hemorrhagic strokes. That's when you have bleeding in your brain. And there's a stroke that many people have, and they don't know it. It's called a TIA.
Mm-hmm.
That's a mini stroke. I've had a TIA, and they didn't know it. The doctor, when I went in for a checkup, he says, "Mr. Brummer, you had another stroke." I said, "What? I can talk. I'm okay. You had another stroke." It wasn't, I didn't know it. And I didn't have any ill effects from it, thank God. But that can happen. Be aware of what's going on. And John, can you put up a card? It's called Be Fast.
Well, we'll touch on the Be Fast stuff right after our first break, because I know I want to we'll intro it in the commercial, which will run when we go to our first break. And then when we come back, we can put the Be Fast card up and really kind of focus on each of those, because these are the things that those of us who are with people who, God forbid, may be experiencing a stroke in our presence, that we need to be aware of to acknowledge and be able to assist the individual who may be in distress. So I think that's a good stopping point. Let's stop for our first commercial break. We get to hear from our sponsor, of course, Back 9 here in Great Bridge and Chesapeake, and whatever other commercials our guy John JPEG Styles in Vegas would like to run to let the world know that we exist. You're watching Kiwanis Connects. Keep those weather reports coming in the chat room. I'm watching for them because I want to know where to vacation next. We got John, we got Doc Val, we got you all out there. Don't go anywhere. More with Kiwanis Connects right after this. Imagine being able to golf no matter the weather or time of day. Well, now you can at Back 9 Great Bridge in Chesapeake. Grab your clubs and swing by for the next level of golf. Back 9 is open 24/7. Play on your own schedule, get pro-level swing data, and much more. Try St. Andrews, then Pebble Beach to test your skills. It's also a great way to start playing golf without the distractions, pressure, or cost of playing 18 holes outside. Back9 offers individual and corporate memberships to fit your needs. Back9 is now open at 500 South Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. Visit our website for more information. Level up your game without stepping on the course with Back9. Hey everybody, Aaron Phillips here from the Kiwanis Connects show. Are you trying to recruit for new members? Do you have a huge event coming up that maybe is your biggest fundraiser of the year? But you need to do something different to let people know that it's happening. The same old gives you the same old routine and results. Well, we've got an idea for you. The Kiwanis Connects show offers the opportunity to have customized commercials created to help your club get your message out. And you know what? One of the extra wonderful points of this opportunity is we provide it as a fundraising opportunity. For every $50 donation for the commercial goes to the Rose Float Kiwanis Club. That's right. The very same Rose Float that we see on television every New Year's that represents Kiwanis International will now be supported by these Kiwanis Connects commercials. So if you want more information and get involved, just drop us an email at KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com. That's KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com. Get your 30, 60, or 90-second customized commercial today, and let's help the Rose Float Kiwanis Club continue to plant its seeds for success. Some estimates say that someone in the United States has a stroke every 40 seconds. Rocky, please share with us your experience.
Aaron, as we all think we are invincible, after playing baseball for 12 years and never missing a game, I had a stroke while I was umpiring. It put a new perspective on life for me. No more golf, bowling, dancing, or most importantly, playing catch with my grandchildren. Please listen to your own body warnings. Pay attention and watch for your family and your friends. Watch for those warning signs. You are not invincible.
Derek, what are some of the symptoms and signs we should be aware of?
The simple rule is to remember the be fast rule. Balance. Beware of loss of balance. Eyes. Check for vision loss. Face. Check if one arm is weak or numb. Speech. Listen for slurred speech. Time. Call 911 immediately if there's treatment. There's treatment available if it's within 3 hours.
John, what are some of the resources that folks have available for them?
There are several stroke support groups available to stroke survivors and their caregivers. Many of the stroke support groups you can attend can be accessed on your computer via Zoom. The stroke groups we support are located at the bottom of your screen.
This message was proudly brought to you by the following: the Kiwanis Club of Laguna Elk Grove, the Kiwanis Club of Oakland, and the Kiwanis Club of Palo Alto. All right. Well, oh, wait a minute. Welcome back. We're missing somebody. What happened? Oh, my goodness. All right. Welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. I guess Val's link kind of interrupted itself, as it always tends to happen. Of course, joining us today, Mr. John Brummer. We're back visiting with him. The month of May was Stroke Awareness Month, as well as it was Mental Health Month. And the month got away from us. And fortunately, John and unfortunately, Rocky and Derek are not available. So we get John Brummer all to ourselves today. All right, John. In that commercial that we did together, we talked about, and you alluded to it before commercial break, was the Be Fast rules. So, John, back in Vegas, if you could please bring up the Be Fast card, put that on screen, move the three of us off to the side. This way, John can talk to us about the Be Fast rules as we chat about it. So go ahead, John, take it away. If you would, he'll bring up the card for us there. But the Be Fast rule, why was that designed? Talk about that for us, if you would.
You know, it's important because people don't know the signs of stroke. I can see Aaron. He looks normal, right?
Looks can be deceiving.
Not, but he looks normal. Val looks normal. She could be having a stroke now, and you don't know it. That's why we need to remember this acronym. It's Be Fast. And Derek explained it. I'll explain it more. Balance. You stand up and put out your hands. Are you going to balance? Can you stand up? That's a sign. Eyes. Maybe they have blurry eyes or they can't see. That's a sign of stroke. Face. Am I having a stroke? Maybe. Because it affects your face. Look, like they say.
John, I'm going to interrupt you for a minute because one of the things that you just talked about, eyes and face, and it's not just what you're experiencing, but it's that imbalance. All of a sudden, you see a droop, right? That's one of the things, or the eye starts to droop, right?
Right.
I want to make sure because a lot of people, when they're looking at this, they're like going, well, some people look unstable every day. So,
and that's sober too.
That's sober.
Right. No, but I'm glad you mentioned that because John, I want you to comment on this. One of the easiest visuals to see in somebody else is when you're talking with them, you could see the right side of their mouth drooping in a smile or as they're talking or maybe slurred speech. I think that's probably one of the most common visual signs that somebody else can see in somebody that something's not right.
Yeah, I was lucky when I had my stroke. Someone knew what be fast meant. Speech.
Really?
That was me. I couldn't talk. My stroke happened at a Kiwanis meeting, and luckily someone in the meeting knew what to do. They called 911, and that saved me. I mean, I wouldn't have known what's going on. Well, if John can't talk, something's wrong. John talks a lot, but they knew that speech is part of the stroke. He said he learned that in the Boy Scouts. So, and it's been with him this long, for 50 odd years. He remembered that, and they called 911 right away. Another sign is your arm. Maybe it's weak. I mean, these are signs of stroke, but it could be something else. But I say, when in doubt, call 911. Don't call your family. Don't call friends. Just call 911. That's the important thing.
You know, when I was helping set up a stage with a friend of mine, it was a couple years ago. He's one of those brawny guys and really good. He could lift up tables all by himself. And we were working together, and all of a sudden, he dropped the right-hand side of the table. All of a sudden, he just had no arm strength. And so that was a sign right away that there was something not right. And he said, "Oh, I'm dehydrated." And I looked up some statistics, John. I realized that dehydration is one of the things that can trigger a stroke.
See, I'm guilty of that. I don't drink enough water. I need to, but I don't because I don't like it. That shouldn't matter. Drink it. So,
especially when you consider the majority of our body is so much fluid in it, you want to make sure we stay hydrated. John, when we get down to the T, you mentioned in your situation that had somebody not been aware of how quickly they needed to respond. I want you to go deeper into that regarding the medication and stuff when you get to the T for time, why that's important to act quickly.
Okay, time, you need to be seen right away. Like I said, call 911. If you're having an ischemic stroke, I think it's the ischemic only, you can get a clot buster. And I got one of those shots, and I was talking again. So that saves me. That saved me from further damage. So it's important to get that shot. I think it's within 5 hours now, or maybe longer. Since it was 5 hours when I had my stroke, I think it's increased time-wise. So check with your doctors and see what the time frame is now to get the shot.
Are EMTs, our ambulance now, paramedics, are they equipped with that shot that you're referring to, that if someone is called on a 911 scene for a stroke victim, can they supply that?
I don't believe so, but this is interesting. I went to a conference in San Jose a few weeks ago, In Santa Clara County, they have an ambulance, a stroke ambulance. They do MRIs, all the stuff when they get to the emergency room. They do it in the ambulance. I think that's the only one in the Bay Area. I don't know about other sites in California, but I thought was a great thing.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, as long as you call 911 fast and get them to the hospital quickly, then hopefully the hospital will administer that medication within that minimum 5-hour period. That's the key thing of all of these Be Fast letters, and they're all very important. That last one, quick response, call, and as much as you want to call a relative real quickly, you're 100% right, John. 911 needs to be called first, get that ambulance there, and then call who needs to be called after that. I think that's a great point on your part there.
And I was lucky when they called 911. I got to the hospital in about 10 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes, because I was close. Another thing, we can talk about this later, stroke support groups. I belong to maybe 15 stroke support groups. I think those are really, really key because the support you get and give to others is the most important thing. I've seen some stroke survivors. We're not victims, we're survivors.
Right.
Support groups, they need to be here because you don't want to be alone when you have a stroke. You can't be alone. I mean, medically wise, you can, but being with other people is so important. The stroke support groups I attend are at a hospital, a community center. I was lucky. I started a stroke support group where I live. I live in Lodi, California. That's outside of Sacramento. But when I moved here, they didn't have anything like a stroke support group. I wanted to start one, and it was a strange situation when I started it. I went to a restaurant and I ordered a turkey sandwich. The clerk says, "I don't understand you." I said, "Well, I'd like a turkey sandwich." "Sir, I can't understand it." He says, "Well, I'm sorry, I had a stroke, blah, 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 years ago, and it affects my speech." She says, "You had a stroke, huh?" I said, "I did." He says, "I want to help you." "Well, I want a turkey sandwich." She says, no, I want to help you in another way. So she said, "What do you want?" I said, "Well, I'd really like to start a stroke support group here in Lodi." And we did. The newspaper found out about it. They did a story on me and my stroke and my story. And we started one. And then the second meeting, we met in the deli. The clerk was the manager of the restaurant. She says, "My dad had 5 strokes. That's why I want to help you."
Wow.
So she says, "You can meet here." I said, "What's the cost for the room?" She says, "No cost. They don't have to eat. Just come and be with each other." And we did. The second meeting, I had my facilitator on my stroke group come and help me. She's retired now, but she came and she continues to help me with the group in Lodi. We meet at the hospital. We moved. She says, "I have more resources than you do." I was so happy. I'm still happy about that because our group's gone from 3 people to now probably 20 people. So
Wow. You almost have like a Kiwanis Club going there.
Well, that's that's next.
I was going to say, I smell a specialized Kiwanis Club coming down the road.
Yeah, we had our governor's visit on last Saturday, and they mentioned that I want to start a stroke support Kiwanis Club, open to everybody in the world. You don't have to be in Kiwanis now. You don't have to be in Calneva, Virginia. I mean, we'll make a virtual meeting once a month, and we'll have a stroke support group there, and maybe we'll raise some money for stroke support groups. So,
And I see the service component because every Kiwanis Club that we start, it's not just a support group, but it's not just for the members, but it needs to have the service component. And I see what you all can do is as a club is to put together international or national resources that clubs can pull down and use as programs. You can do programs virtually and in person around the world. And that's a speakers bureau kind of service project. My brain's going 8 million miles an hour. You can't, I know. And you can share working ideas of how to put together support groups in local and remote areas. So put together a Kiwanis Club. I want to help you do this because I think there's a full mission. It fits one of the pillars of Kiwanis International, which is health and nutrition. What more health than brain health? Oh my gosh. And then there has to be that service component and what you do. And I think there's an added benefit because of everybody, the people that I've met that have had strokes and are thriving, not just surviving, but now are in that thriving phase. They still sometimes feel like people just don't get it. So when you're in a group of people of like mind who've had a like experience, it's much easier to navigate and have conversations and set up processes. So you might be giving some people an opportunity to serve from where they sit now after stroke.
Right. And to find a stroke group, I mentioned Sacramento and Lodi and there. You need to go to the American Association, the American Heart Association website. They have a stroke group finder. You enter your zip code and a mile radius where you go, like 15 miles. They'll list some groups, and whether they're in person, those are great, or on Zoom or like this. I mean, I go to a lot of stroke groups online because I'm about people.
Awesome. So if you're going to start this club, I know it, I can see it. And so before we go,
yeah, yes. I want to do a quick reset for everybody watching. So because a lot of great information and why we're talking about strokes. You're watching Kiwanis Connects right now. We've got John Brummer. The month of May was Stroke Awareness Month. But so we are a little behind. We've been a little busy, but John was kind enough to rejoin us today for us to talk about the facets of the Be Fast rule for stroke awareness, John's progression. And when you continue with your thought, I think what we should probably tackle is maybe there's ways people can prevent strokes. I have some ideas that ChatGPT gave us that I want to run by John. So after that, there you go. Take it back away. I just wanted to do that reset, make sure everybody knows why they're watching us today.
Absolutely, because if you jumped right in the middle of this, you're going, they've lost their minds.
Right, exactly.
It's just like, in reality, we haven't. And that's, when we talk about single focus issues, that's how Kiwanis started. We saw an issue and we jumped on it and we put in place ways to solve it and thrive. So you're in the right place if you're watching us right now. And John has this great idea, and it's like, poof, we need to help John make that happen, like we've done with so many other groups, including the sex trafficking awareness, which has just blown up, and a couple of the other clubs and organizations. It's like, wow, we've helped make that happen. So,
and the
John,
new one about the charter.
Absolutely. Well, that was already chartered. The mental health club is chartered, and they're going to have their very first Bonanza meeting and service on the 30th of June. So there's still time if you want to be a charter member of that club. John and you and I are all members of that club as coaches and members to make it happen. So we're so excited. So you could message our group and we'll get you connected. But Mr. Brummer, as I look at you, let's help make your dream come true in that. And so after our break, I think it is also important to go where Aaron is talking about, which is we need to prevent this stuff and be able to do that.
So let's go to break a little early. So when we come back, we're going to talk about ways we can possibly prevent strokes. We still have Melissa Atwell's mental health moment to share with everybody. We also have Val's wow moments. And of course, what would a Kiwanis Connects episode be without some bad dad jokes? And with next week being Father's Day weekend and us focused on Manila, I thought I would jump a week ahead. And so I got some really bad dad jokes to qualify and end for the show. So when we come back, John in Vegas joined us.
Before we go to break,
yes.
I've got this little tidbit for John for his new effort of the slow down. All right, here you go.
Oh, perfect. I think that should be the logo. There you have it. All right. When we come back, more with this wacky crew of Kiwanis Connects. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Sometimes I'd like to smack old age right in the kisser. Ow!
I always get the best parking spot.
I think she needs a little more help.
Monday?
What I really need is a boyfriend that can drive at night.
I can make a fashion statement out of anything.
I will be fabulous.
I have a little crush on my pharmacist.
With Comfort Care at your side, you can live your best life possible. We know families can't be there 24/7, which is why we can help with as much or as little home care as you need. From medication reminders and meal prep to everyday chores and errands, so you can live in your own home on your terms.
I won't let aging stop me from being me.
Call Comfort Care now and let us create your personalized care plan and find the perfect caregiver match.
Can you show that number again? She was texting.
Together with Comfort Care, you can both live your best life possible.
At Kiwanis Family House, we build communities and give hope. But when someone is sick, families can be tested in ways they never imagined. Parents have to travel far from home to get their child the complex medical care needed. They may have to miss work and worry about paying the bills, and all the while, trying to keep their family together. That's where Kiwanis Family House comes in. Kiwanis Family House provides a home away from home for families with sick family members receiving treatment at nearby hospitals. Families stay at Kiwanis Family House for as long as they need. This allows them to be close to their sick family member and each other during a stressful time. Every day, Kiwanis Family House witnesses how families are a powerful source of support and healing during difficult times due to illness or trauma. Every day, Kiwanis Family House celebrates the importance of family and the power of love and support. Imagine being able to golf no matter the weather or time of day. Well, now you can at Back 9 Great Bridge in Chesapeake. Grab your clubs and swing by for the next level of golf. Back 9 is open 24/7, play on your own schedule, get pro-level swing data, and much more. Try St. Andrews, then Pebble Beach to test your skills. It's also a great way to start playing golf without the distractions, pressure, or cost of playing 18 holes outside. Back 9 offers individual and corporate memberships to fit your needs. Back 9 is now open at 500 South Battlefield Boulevard in Chesapeake. Visit our website for more information. Level up your game without stepping on the course with Back 9. All right, everybody, welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you making us part of your Friday as always. All right. So what we want to do, Val, I'm going to throw it back to you for the moment, but eventually let's talk about some ways we can actually prevent strokes as we progress. So take it away first, and then I have my list of data here that I will share in a moment.
Okay. Well, you know, John, I think that this is really timely that we're talking about it, even though it's not May. And the reason I say that is because there are seasons and times when strokes happen more often. And I'm not sure, have you guys talked about that in your sessions about when strokes are more prevalent?
No.
Okay. I've done some homework. You know, I'm a card-carrying member of the American Heart Association as a professional within the field. And so I geeked out when I knew that you were coming back. And part of my geek out was, I'll do a little like a fun fact. that more strokes happen between 6 a.m. and 12 p.m. than any other time of day.
I believe
Isn't that amazing?
I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's because your body,
the morning would be the easiest part of the day.
Yeah, but your blood pressure is at a bizarre level as you're waking up and getting up. You know, you go from 0 miles an hour to moving up. Yes,
you're starting work.
Exactly, you're starting work. You haven't rehydrated because most people try to not drink any water at least 2 hours before they go to bed. So they're completely dehydrated by the time they wake up in the morning. And it's also dealing with the sunlight. So there are many of us in the Kiwanis world that have meetings early in the morning. So knowing these symptoms and knowing that you're looking at a colleague that might be going through this is really valuable.
In the interest of time, I want to just hit the 10 items of stroke prevention that I found, and then we can break them up and discuss whichever ones we want. So the 10 items, the biggest stroke prevention strategies are as follows. And one you just touched on, Val: control your high blood pressure. If you're on any medication for blood pressure, don't mess around with it. Follow it. Number 2, don't smoke. Number 3, stay physically active. Number 4, eat a heart-healthy diet. Number 5, maintain a healthy weight. Number 6, manage your diabetes. You know, just if you're on meds or you take insulin shots, stick with it. Limit your alcohol. Get enough sleep, which you were just talking about. Manage your cholesterol. And if you actually need to be treated or think you may have AFib, atrial fibrillation, get it checked out. Those are the top 10 biggest prevention tips from the American Heart Association and World Stroke Organization in preventing stroke. So have at it. Whatever comments on any of those, let's go for it. John, take it away.
You know, I think what I didn't do, I didn't listen to my doctor. My doctor said, you have high blood pressure and high cholesterol. Well, I ran some marathons. I go to the gym 5 times a week or more. I'm healthy. John, take the medicine. I didn't listen. He told me 3 times to take the medicine. I struck out the 3rd time. I had the stroke. So listen to your doctor. That's really, really important.
And all of those 10 items can effectively be controlled and monitored by your doctor, right? Your cholesterol meds, your high blood pressure, good nutritional diet, all of that. It's all doctor controlled. About the only one or two that maybe not on the air, stay physically active. That's up to you to move around. That's up to you to park as far away from the mall entrance and walk those extra steps. But everything else on that list is pretty much doctor controlled, right?
I take the medicine now. I'm normal. My blood pressure is normal. My cholesterol is normal. So, yeah.
But the one caveat that I want to put in there is just like people start the brand new year, they go from 0 to 60 in exercise programs, getting their gym membership and all of that, and they end up having a heart attack and stroke because they push too hard, too fast. It is one of those situations that if you're going to become physically active and looking at all these things, you don't do it all at once and you don't go extreme. And
John,
yeah,
I'm sorry, John in Vegas, an address across the bottom there. At first I thought it was a mistake and it might've been, but I'm glad he kind of did. So I had a guest on my Aaron's Hour podcast last week, Brad Breckenridge. He's the regional business manager for a company called IV Nutrition. And they happen to be like literally half a block from my studio. Now, anything that they provide, which is everything from healthy supplements direct into via IVs, whether it's for weight loss, whether it's for stress management, for sleep, this is another possibility. IV Nutrition is a franchise. So even if you don't want to go to the doctor, but maybe you need help sleeping, maybe you need this. So IV Nutrition is a supplemental methodology. It's not a cure-all. Let me stress that. It's not a cure for cancer or strokes or heart attacks, but it could be providing you some of those supplements where it could be cholesterol management, could be high blood pressure management, sleep aids, whatever it is. So, John, if that was a mistake, it was a good mistake, because I think it was a good tickler to mention that as something that can help us prevent strokes. And I kind of wish Derek and Rocky were here, because between the three of you, the level of stroke, post-stroke survival was different on all three of you, right? John, you had a lot of the speech issues and whatnot. Derek, we know, ended up in a wheelchair because of his stroke, although he's doing physically better, right? And Rocky's was a different level, right? So there's different levels of stroke abilities, so to speak. Go ahead.
Derek has improved, I'd say 90%. He's out of the wheelchair. He was president of the Kiwanis Club last year. I mean, he's taking advantage of what you mentioned, Aaron, different treatments.
Mm-hmm.
We need to have him come on and talk about that. I don't know the full details of what he's doing, but it's really improved. I mean, we've become brothers, really. He's not my brother, but he's my brother.
Mm-hmm.
We care about each other. We do things together a lot besides Kiwanis. So,
right on.
You know, in this stroke situation, one of the things that I've noticed is that family and adopting new family becomes so essential in this process. And when I thought that I had had a stroke in 2005 and ended up in the hospital, I discounted including Andy in the process, because I was just like, oh, I'm just going to the hospital. Something's just not right. One of my staff members is driving me because I can't drive myself. And he was like, what? And then he showed up at the hospital. And if it hadn't been for him paying attention from then on out and actually letting me talk about the situation, I can't tell you where I would be. Or some of the other people that were like, yeah, that really did happen to you. Just because you think you're Superwoman doesn't mean that when you jump off the side of the building, that cape's going to always work.
My stroke support groups I attend, they're my family. If once I'm missing a meeting, I contact them. It's so important to be cared for and with people. One thing, my stroke was my speech, something people don't know. I have cognitive issues. I forget a lot of things. You can tell me something, 5 minutes later, I'll forget it. Like, take out the garbage. Did you say take out the garbage? You didn't tell me that. They do, but I forget. And that's
all this time I thought I was employing selective hearing with my wife. Jeez Louise.
I've been accused of that too.
You guys do get a bad rap for being male, that, you know, and so that might be a symptom that some of us women miss altogether, is that you may truly be experiencing a stroke and we're going, oh, he's just such a dude right now. So to all the women out there, if it becomes a pattern, or if you're noticing something that's just odd, it may be a stroke. So I don't mean to laugh.
That should be part of BFAST, cognitive issues, because a lot of people I'm around in the stroke groups, they have the same problem. So I'm not alone. So
right on.
So maybe why don't we do a tagline of think and be fast? And so think is your cognitive disorder. It's one thing altogether, and be fast. So Aaron, you take it away, because we're going to create a whole nother hour's worth of show right now.
I know, and that's all right. We are down to about 9.5 minutes. So I want to give John a chance to catch his breath. So let's do this. Let's get Melissa Atwell in here and let her share her moment of mental health clarity. Take it away, Melissa.
Hi, I'm Melissa Atwell, founder and CEO of the Mental Health Moment. You know, asking for help is a strength, not a weakness. We all need support sometimes, and reaching out is the first step towards healing that looks different for each of us. You do not have to do it alone. You are not alone. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
All right, welcome back. Thank you, Melissa. As always, I love Melissa. I love her, and she's the one. She's going to be your new president for the Mental Health Las Vegas Club, and I'm happy to be part of that as well. All right, with that, it is time now for Doc Val's wow moments.
Hi, I just had a wow moment totally separate. There's a goat in my front yard. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I still live in the country. All right. I have two wow moments. One's tied at second and third. One's tied into the fact that we played the Kiwanis Family House commercial, and I am so excited to support Paula Stamp, the executive director, in announcing that they're opening a second Kiwanis Family House in Redding, California. And so that is in process. They've signed all the contracts, and so there is an opportunity to support in Redding, which will take some of the pressure of all the people that are going to UC Davis and the original family house. It just adds more infrastructure. And so if you want to call Paula and figure out how to start one in your area, bonus. My second one, because I have to do this, because I am in love with Little Iguana. We brought them here several times. They're part of the Kiwanis Kindness Club. And right now they are up for an award. And so right across the screen is hashtag bestof603.com /vote/hashtag. And so you want to vote for them in the 603 area. They're up for the campaign of being the best in New Hampshire. And the voting is allowed until June 24th. I have to read this because I want to make sure that everybody knows this.
Get it right.
The category is called shopping. Subcategory is children's clothing store, and it's Little Iguana's pop-up seasonal sale. I even have bought my grandson's Little Iguana shirts and all that kind of fun stuff because, as we all know, that has saved lives. Little Iguana is going to be back on the air. They're going to come back on the show with all the new things that they're doing. But please vote. bestof603.com /vote because Little Iguana needs the recognition after 30 plus years of being out there. Run, stop. It makes a difference. So thank you for letting me share actually three with the goat. I'm looking literally out the window. We're good to go.
That's okay. That's all right. We'll take goats. Now you can do your own goat yoga. We can find out what that's all about. No, you wouldn't do goat yoga?
I will do goat yoga, but not with these guys. They are not the nicest.
Gotcha. All right. With that, we are winding down our time here. Mr. Brummer, as you know, this is not your first, dance with us here. Do you by chance have any bad dad jokes ready as a guest?
I forgot to get them. I'm the joke.
That's okay. You're never a joke, Mr. Brummer. We'll give you a pass. Not a problem. All right. With that, you know what time it is. Yeah. Let's hit it, John. Time. All right. Just remember, I don't write them. I just read them. I do have guests here in the studio. Do you by chance have a bad dad joke you'd like to share? All right. So come on around. I'm going to introduce my brother-in-law, Sam Brewster. So he just, since we don't, come on, he's going to come in. He's going to be on camera here. Let me get the camera tilted over to him here in a second. Hold on. There he is. All right. You notice we go to the same, well, you can't really see, but we do go to the same barber. That's why we're related. Goatee and glasses and all. All right, hit it. What kind of joke you got?
So there was a guy I knew.
Talk like they need to hear you.
There was a guy I knew, and he ended up going to court. They were getting him on stealing a calendar. He got 12 months.
Oh, God. Stuck. See, and you wonder where we get it from. That was actually pretty good. That was actually not bad. All right. Well, I have to say, it can only go worse from here. Here you go. Bad dad jokes. Father's Day theme, because next week with Manila and you guys out there, I feel we're going to focus on a lot of that. So I'm going to get some Father's Day bad dad jokes. And here you go. Why did the dad bring a pencil to his Father's Day dinner? Why did the dad bring a pencil to his Father's Day dinner? Because he wanted to draw attention to himself. Okay, I told you. Here you go. What's a dad's favorite kind of music on Father's Day?
Pop hits.
What is it?
Pop tunes, pop hits.
Yes, pop music, of course.
Pop
yes. Doc Val got it.
I was going to say mambo.
Mambo. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't say it, John. Why don't they have Father's Day sales? Why are there never there's always Mother's Day sales, right? Why are there no Father's Day sales? Because fathers are priceless.
Oh.
What's the best thing a new dad can get for Father's Day? What's the best thing? Huh?
Money.
Not bad, but not my answer that I have on this joke list. Not bad. What's the best thing a new dad can get for Father's Day? A long nap. That's what you can get a new father for Father's Day. 2 more, and then I'm done. Thank goodness. Mercifully, this segment. No, that's not true. I have 3 more. What did the Martians wear to the Father's Day dinner? What did the Martians wear to the Father's Day dinner? Well, spacesuits, of course. I did not say these were good jokes. Just remember that. I'm only reading them. Why couldn't the digital clock make dinner for Father's Day? Why couldn't the digital clock make dinner for Father's Day?
There's no time.
Oh, that's not bad.
It had no hands.
Had no hands. That's correct, Mr. JPEG. Digital clock, no hands. Get it? John got it. That means his drugs are kicking in. Okay, last one. Having nothing to do with Father's Day, I just thought it was a pretty good one. Why did the Oreo, thank you, see, Judy got her. I'll give Judy credit for that one. Why did the Oreo go to the dentist? Why did the Oreo go to the dentist? Because it lost its filling. You did, Val, I thought for sure you would have liked that one. All right, well, that does it. That ends my bad dad jokes, thank goodness. All right, I'm done. Bad dad jokes over. I want to give John Brummer the opportunity to take the last minute or two in our final thoughts, sharing whatever he'd like about stroke awareness, stroke recovery, stroke support groups. John, it is all yours. Take it away.
My last words, because I like to talk. Sorry.
He did what he needed to do.
Remember, be fast. That's the most important thing. And be there for someone who is going through tough times. You know, got to be with them and patient with them, and attend a stroke support group because they're great for recovery. That's it.
There you go. Thank you, John. Appreciate, as always, having you on the show. Good to see you. I'll never forget our first interaction in Reno about, 5 years ago, up there at Jerry's Nugget. I'm just running through the hotel. I'm getting to my room. All of a sudden, out of nowhere here, Aaron Phillips! Like, who knows me here? Do I know this guy Money? What is this? And all of a sudden, John comes running over and he introduces himself as to who he was because he follows what we do. And it was such a great honor to meet you in person that day at the hotel. And, you know, even though we've got 2,500 miles between us, Mr. Brummer, we are friends, and I'm thankful for that.
Aaron, could John put my contact information in?
Absolutely. Give it away.
A stroke. I'll do it. You want that, John? I think he has it.
Okay, if we can run that on the scroll real quickly, but give it. What is your contact information? What's the best way?
Email.
Which is
JRB as in boy, K as in Kiwanis, P as in Paul, L as in Lincoln, T as in Tom, G as in George, the number 7 at gmail.com. I don't know why that's it, but
I was just going to say, could we have made that any more difficult, John? I mean, really now. All right, Doc Val, final thoughts.
One of the things about having friends on this show is that we learn more about them every day. And John, you gave me a very important message that we need to be paying attention to the people around us, not just run, and keep doing more and more, but actually paying attention to each other, focusing in on what's important, and getting a little laughter in. So as I see the two bald guys flip, wrap it up for us.
Yeah, I don't know what John's doing with the camera angles back there in Vegas. So anyway, yeah.
I'm so thankful that everybody has been watching the show.
I'm trying to type in the damn email address.
All right, on that note, I'm going to take John JPEG Styles out of his misery. With that, everybody, thank you for watching as always. Brummer, good to see you, my friend. And unfortunately, Rocky and Derek will have to catch another time. Hey, a couple of programming notes tomorrow. Join me on Aaron's Hour. I have the founder of a brand new school that's opening up here in Virginia Beach, a private school called Celebrate School. Check that out tomorrow. And then, of course, at 12:30, Jody Medeiros will be joining me on the Voice of 757, Cox Cable Channel 4, 12:30 to 1 on your local channels. And early next week, check out the Facebook page. Thank you for watching, everybody. Be kind to everybody. Why? We're all we have. This show is adjourned.